The top 10 best tips for a successful triple net 1031 exchange closing. In this video, I'm going to share with you our top 10 best tips for a successful triple net 1031 exchange closing. First and foremost, buying a single tenant triple net property is the best alternative for your 1031 exchange replacement property. A single tenant triple net property offers the investor a truly passive income investment with no landlord responsibilities. In most cases, the tenant takes care of pretty much everything and your rental income is net. Hi, my name is Alex Casablanca, managing broker at Casablanca Triple Net Lease Advisors. We are a boutique brokerage firm based in Orlando, Florida, specializing in selling triple net investment properties nationwide USA. We represent buyers, sellers, and 1031 exchange investors in finding and negotiating the best triple net property according to their investment goals and risk tolerance. Finding a replacement property for your 1031 exchange and being able to complete a successful closing can be stressful for most investors. Meeting all the requirements and deadlines that the IRS imposes definitely adds more complexity to the process. However, if you start early and team up with the right group of professionals that can help you navigating the complexities of the process, that will make your transaction less stressful and efficient. Before we start with our top 10 best tips, it is very important to understand two basic 1031 exchange guidelines. The first one is your identification period, and the second one is your target closing date. As per current IRS 1031 exchange guidelines, you have a maximum of 45 days from the date of the closing of your existing property to identify up to 3 potential properties to buy. And then you have to close on one of those 3 that you have previously identified no less than 180 days after you have closed on your existing property. Now, let's get into our top 10 best tips for a successful triple net 1031 exchange closing. Number 1, start early. Starting early is one of the most important factors for a successful 1031 exchange closing. In the early stages, you must complete 4 key actions that will set you up for a successful triple net 1031 exchange closing. First, start by assembling an experienced group of key professionals that will guide you through our successful closing. I will tell you more who are those professionals later on. Second, once the due diligence of the property that you are selling expires and you have a clear picture of when you are going to close, as your buyer's broker, we will start actively looking for properties within your investment criteria and assist you in start submitting offers. Third, once you have closed on your existing property is when we should start actively submitting offers and start narrowing your options with the objective of determining which property will be the number 1 property selection on your list. 4, and very important, once you close on your existing property, get a proof of funds letter from your 1031 intermediary company and forward it to your buyer's broker. That will reinforce the offers and will give them more credibility. Now, step number 2. Hire a competent and experienced triple net buyer's broker. It is very important that you team up early in the process with a competent and experienced triple net buyer's broker that can represent your interests exclusively. Remember that the seller's broker represents the best interests of the seller, not your best interest as a buyer. As your buyer's broker, we will assist you with market research, property evaluation and selection, offer submissions and negotiations, due diligence, and closing. We work quickly and decisively towards finding for your consideration as many properties as possible within your criteria. We have the knowledge and expertise and connections with sellers and broker colleagues to negotiate the best price and the best terms for you. We also represent our buyers for free since we get paid from the seller. So you will be receiving our expert advice and representation at no additional cost to you. In addition, we also pay for our buyers' closing costs up to a maximum of $10,000. Step number 3. Hire a competent and experienced real estate attorney with previous experience with triple net transactions. Once we get your offer accepted, your attorney should be ready to receive the first draft of the purchase agreement and start negotiating with the seller's attorney the terms and conditions of the contract so you can secure the property under contract as quickly as possible. Once the property is under contract, your attorney should diligently review all the due diligence documents and assist you all the way throughout the closing. Attorney-related delays can put in jeopardy your transaction. Step number 4. Select your 1031 exchange intermediary company. Your 1031 exchange intermediary will be the custodian and administrator of your 1031 exchange. It is very important that you choose your intermediary company early in the process. It is also important that you send them a copy of the purchase agreement of the property that you are selling and make all the arrangements for them to receive the proceeds of the sale of your property on the day of your closing. There are many reputable companies in the United States that are qualified as 1031 exchange intermediaries. Step number 5. Select your accountant or tax attorney. You must also team up with a knowledgeable accountant or tax attorney with experience in 1031 exchange transactions. Preferably should be the one that will file your taxes the next year, which will include the reporting of your 1031 exchange. He or she will assist you in making sure that you comply with all the tax rules and IRS requirements for a qualified 1031 exchange closing. Step number 6. Select your financing company if you have debt to replace. If you don't have debt to replace, this step does not apply to you. If you have an existing loan on the property that you are selling, the IRS requires that you substitute that debt with an equal or higher financing. If you have to replace an existing financing, start consulting with your bank early and initiate the application process. Have in mind that in the current high interest rate environment that we are right now, the interest rate of the new loan could be substantially higher than the interest rates that you currently have. Step number 7. Determine your acquisition criteria. Your acquisition criteria will be a determinant factor in the success of your transaction. Your acquisition criteria should include the following elements: price range, cap rate expectations, years remaining on the lease, preferred locations, tenants and brand names of interest to focus on, among several others. It is very important to have a clear picture of the type of tenant and industries that you want to focus on. Every industry has its own complexities, and it is very important to have a clear understanding of who are the leaders on that industry and which tenants are the ones that you have the most interest in. Also, it is very important to have a clear perspective on the location and states and cities that you are mostly interested in. Location is one of the most important factors in your search. Do not limit yourself to just one state or one area. Remember, the best property is not the one that is closer to where you live. The best property is the one in the best location, the best tenant, and the best real estate fundamentals. It is also very important to determine early in the process the exact dollar amount that you will need to replace for your 1031 exchange, as well as the payoff balance in case that you have any debt to replace that you may have in your existing property. You might also want to consider if you are willing to put additional money to buy a property at a higher price. Remember that the IRS actually allows you to buy a property at a higher price than the one that you just sold. Having a clearly defined investment criteria from the very beginning is absolutely very important. As your broker, we can focus on looking for properties within your specific guidelines. Step number 8. Have your number one property selection under contract before your 45 days identification period expires. This one is the absolute most important. The only way to secure a property is by putting it under contract. Some investors focus on submitting as many offers as they can, but by submitting offers or even getting them accepted, you don't secure a property. The only way to secure a property is by putting it under contract. Yes, you can identify 3 properties, but you have to buy one. And that number one should have been put under contract in order to secure it as quickly as possible. As your buyer's broker, we work with the goal of helping you to have your number one property selection under contract before your 45 days identification period expires. Your real estate attorney will be a key part of that process as well. He or she should move quickly and decisively, reviewing all the documentation so you can secure your number one option under contract as quickly as possible. After you have your number one property selection under contract, we will focus on identifying your property options number 2 and number 3. Ideally, we should have offers accepted for those properties as well, as they should be available at the moment in time that you selected them. Remember, have in mind that although you will select them and put them on your list, they will not be secure unless you put them under contract as well. Number 9, go and visit the property. Once you have your number one property selection under contract, if you are planning to go and see the property, arrange a visit to the property as quickly as possible so you can be sure early in the process that you will feel comfortable and you will not have any objections with the property or the location. Step number 10. Close on your first property selection, ideally no later than 30 days after the 45 days identification period has expired. Although the IRS gives you a total of 180 days to close since the day that you close on your property, I always recommend my clients to aim to complete the closing no later than 30 days after your 45 days identification period has expired. The sooner the better to avoid any last-minute delays and complications. There are some circumstances in which the closing could get delayed. For example, when you are buying a new construction property, you have to wait until the store opens for business or get all the permitting. Even in those circumstances, ideally, you should be able to close no later than 90 days from the date of your closing of your existing property. In summary, the top 10 best tips for a successful triple net 1031 exchange closing are: number 1, start early by assembling an experienced group of professionals. Number 2, hire a competent and experienced triple net buyer's broker. Number 3, hire a competent and experienced real estate attorney with experience in triple net transactions. Number 4, select your 1031 exchange intermediary company. Number 5, select your accountant or tax attorney. Number 6, select your bank or financing company if you have debt to replace. Number 7, determine your acquisition criteria. Number 8, have your number one property selection under contract on or before your 45 days identification period expires. Number 9, arrange a visit to the property if you are planning to go and see the property. Number 10, close on your first property selection, ideally 30 days after your 45 days identification period has expired. Although a 1031 exchange process could be seen stressful and overwhelming, the key is to start early and hire the key competent professionals to assist you. If you do that, the process can really become really straightforward and stress-free. At Casablanca, we specialize in representing triple net buyers and 1031 exchange investors nationwide USA. We have the knowledge and expertise to guide you along the way, from market research, identifying potential properties, submitting offers and negotiating them, due diligence, up to the closing table. We have helped many triple net buyers and 1031 exchange investors in finding and negotiating the best property according to their investment goals and risk tolerance. Moreover, and very important, we represent our buyers for free since we get paid from the seller. And we also pay for our buyers' closing costs up to a maximum of $10,000. This incentive will offset or cover completely the majority of buyers' closing cost expenses, such as title fees, attorney's fees, recording fees, among others. We are the brokers that give you more in exchange of your trust. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me directly. My number is 407-205-7570. You can also send me an email at alex@casablancacre.com. Feel free to call me anytime at your convenience. I am always available for my clients. Thank you very much for watching this video. Feel free to reach out to us and we will be more than happy to assist you to the successful 1031 exchange closing. Have a great day.